Alright, guys. It is time once again for some zooness. If I can get my chair to cooperate, that would be fantastic. I've got too much crap under my desk. That's what the problem is, among other things. Alright. So, quick update. I did manage to get through that last scenario that we were trying to do for Parkitect. And I'm a dumbass and misunderstood something the way it was worded, so on multiple fronts, I finally got through that. I recorded that playthrough. I'll get that up on the YouTube channel soon. Soon, quotation marks. Once we get everything else up. But that one's going to require some editing, so it's going to take a minute. So, that format might be a little bit different. So, we're not doing Flamingo Falls Beach. Woo! I was working on a build in there. Actually, I don't think, unless you've checked out the YouTube series that we're working on for Flamingo Falls, I don't think any of you might be familiar with that one. We haven't seen that one on live. That is for the YouTube channel. We haven't shown that one off here yet. So we decided to call the joint project Salt Marsh Park, partially named after an area of the map of the D&D game that the husband is co-DMing with one of our friends. This animal, the animals in the suit, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Alright, so we do have a couple of things that we plopped down in here. For starters, let's get it to be kind of daylighty so we can see what the fuck we're doing. We do have a few things that we plopped down in, at least temporarily, just to get some guests in here so that we could see how the guests were going to interact with the restaurant, because that is a new to us feature that we hadn't really played around with. So we didn't quite understand how they worked, but we got that figured out. And we did have to plop down a couple of temporary staff buildings. Those will not be staying there, excuse me, as things progress. We will be pulling those out and putting other things in. Now, our entrance is over here. I got concessions when we spun the wheel last week before we ended the live. So, the zoo entrance is actually out here, right? We have the restaurant there. The in gates are here. Am I allowed to build at the very entrance, or do I have to build next to your restaurant?
You were originally going to build in the square around my thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to change your mind on that, you can.
I just feel bad because the very front entrance, there's like nothing there. At all. Well, I mean, I guess we could come back and do decor if anybody ends up with decor. Back this way, I suppose. Alright. So, we are building a concessions area. We're supposed to be, I guess, touching this plaza. Alright, so we're gonna kinda angle off of here, I suppose. Alright, so what path did he use here? He did like the little wooden circles. Do I have to stick with your path choice, or I can go with anything?
You can add, but you cannot subtract.
No, do I have to use the same path you picked?
Path.
The color path?
Oh, that's up to you.
Okay. I feel like that would make me super dizzy. Maybe for like a restaurant floor that wouldn't be so bad, but... What do we have for... Oh wow, that's big. Okay. Okay, for starters, let's get the tree out of there.
Hello.
So that we can see what exactly we are doing. The path's a little janky here, so... Like, I'm trying to line up off the corner, but it's not lined up off the corner of the fountain, so that's kind of throwing me a little bit. So we could do a tree bark path. He's got like the wooden circles. Okay, so that's what that looks like.
So they should be here about 3.
Okay, I don't know. Do we want to... I mean, that kinda doesn't clash terribly with it, so maybe about there. Okay, we don't have, he has curb on, so let's see. Alright. Okay, you know what? Here, let's undo that. Let's... Okay. Let's kind of go, like, here. And then... say... there, maybe? Okay, hold on, let's... see about... oh, what is it? Is it... no, not that key. I can't see my keyboard, so it makes it a little bit harder. Is it Z? Okay. I know it's a little oddly shaped, but it's not too... oh, that one's all sorts of janky, but That might be alright. So we're gonna do a concession area. It's not really a big concession area though. Alright. Let's redo this. Because that's a little... How's that look? It's a little more even, I think. Kinda. I mean, this is bugging the shit out of me, but I like things to have symmetry. Okay. So, this will be our outer. Actually, that might need to come in just a little bit further so the buildings aren't touching. The entrance gate. That's a little better. Alright. I know it's a little uneven, but we'll just kind of have to try to cope with that. Okay, so, you built in brick. I have to do this in classic build, right? Classic facades?
Yeah, classic walls.
Okay.
You can do whatever else, but classic walls.
Alright. So, let's... take a look here. Walls. Filters. Okay, here we go. Classic. Okay. So we've decided to do classic for the, like, the buildings that would be used throughout the property. For some reason, just to make things more difficult for ourselves, I suppose. Alright, let's look at archways. Classic arbor arch. I mean, that's kind of cool. We can do like a little outdoor gardening thing. Excuse me. So this pathway is not quite... Can we see? Oh, we can see this. Okay, I wasn't sure if we could. Some pieces you can't. Well, you can't do necessarily what you're trying to do. Alright, so we'll do that. And I feel like we would have a little fence along the front here. So let's see. A classic lawn border. Oh my god, could you just imagine a kid running and falling on that. Okay. So we have this. It feels a little big. We would have to sink that if we go with that. What's this one? Okay, that one has like the little hole in it. Alright. So those are the specific fences. We have some tree cages. We have chain. Okay, we could do something with the chain. So what are our options for lighting? Here, we have the classic lamppost. Do we have floor lights? No. Okay. Hanging lights. Alright. Okay. Centerpieces. Okay, let's break this down. So we've got some more fountainy things. Alright, hang on. We need to change the time of day here because the shadows are killing me. Alright, it feels a little big. Just a little bit. I mean, we do have the one fountain there. What do we have for planters? So we have these black trough planters. And those would sort of fit with our... Is that rust? Or is it just dirt? It kind of looks a little rusty, doesn't it? Wow, that's some texture. Was not expecting that. That's tiny. The window boxes really don't fit. Okay. Statues. Deer. A hippo. A hippo in the concession stand area. I mean, we could. It's an idea. Alright, so, it's got me thinking, what about nature? Alright, does this need a... This does. Okay. So we could go some topiaries and some hedges. Okay, are these... They are colorable. Okay. Alright, so, I mean, we could hedge it. And do like a classic garden thingy. Just let me look at one more thing. I've kind of got an idea formulating here. Come back to walls. So what are our wall options here? We've got brick. I mean, we could go... that. We've got some glass, which would seem kind of silly for being so close to the ground. Got some limestone, which feels... Well, it feels like a lot. So we have limestone and brick and glass. Okay. Alright, I think we're gonna go with the garden. And that will help pretty things up a bit. Alright. Are these... Let me see something. Okay, those are different. Alright. Let me move you. Okay, well let's see here. I think we need to change the lighting again. That might be good. Okay. So that we can get in. There's a bit of a glare though. What if we work from this side? That's a little better. Alright. So we're gonna Z this. Or whatever we need to do to bring up this window. I think it's Z. I could be wrong. So yay, now I get to be fussy building. Of course, like, all of the traffic's gonna be loud when I'm being quiet, figuring this out. Alright, so we're gonna duplicate that. Just not happy with the lighting here. Why? Just a bit of a glare, I guess. Alright. So we're gonna, yes, okay, we duplicated you. And we're gonna have to adjust you slightly. Not a whole lot, but, you know, a little bit, enough. Because they are hedges, so technically they're gonna do their own hedgy things. Oh, it's X, I think, is not C. Alright. I'm silly. I don't want the red one. Alright. So let's try to sink that down into there. Not completely center, but good enough. Oh goodness, that's like completely in shadow. Alright, we might have to adjust you ever so slightly. Okay, so we do need to spin you just a touch. Okay. Good, good. Alright, so we got our corner pieces in. Alright, let's grab this guy. Alright, so we are gonna just you. Oh, let me put the flashlight on, that might help a little bit. Okay, so it needs to get adjusted a little bit more. So here's the question. Do we want to do a flower bed? Right in front of this. Like, right, like sitting here, do we want to set some planters? Or do we want to... I mean, we could just kind of tuck in some flowers along the edge without the actual planter box. Trying to keep an eye on where we are needing to meet up here. So we might need to turn you slightly. Will that get us to where we need to go? We might have to be adjusting this a little bit harder. Oh yeah. Okay, so welcome to Janky Hedgeville. Well, once we get them all in place, it'll be a little bit easier to adjust them. We probably should have worked from this side. And kind of met in the middle. Let's adjust you just a bit. We might have to end up taking someone out here. Right? So that's kind of was a little bit more gentle. And this one, shouldn't be too much of an adjustment here. And this one just kind of tweak ever so slightly. Alright, so I mean, it's a little off in spots. But you know, it is hedge. So not gonna be 100% dead on. So hope everybody's Friday is going well. Alright, that's not too bad so far. Let's do some short grass here. So they at least look a little bit manicured. Area here. We might do an entrance to this loop over here too, just to try to maximize some more people coming on over. Tree, don't worry, we will replant eventually, but you're casting a shadow that's gonna bug at me, so we will replant. Finish getting our shorter grass put in here. So at least it looks like we're doing some sort of lawn maintenance. So we have to think about, the husband's got a bathroom here. We still have to finish putting in our hedge work around here. Now if we end up putting in a path connection here, we're gonna have to have some idea of where we want to put that. Oh, just elbowing shit off my desk, don't mind me. So which one? Do we still have the right one selected? We do. Okay. So if we bring that in here. That. Oh no, undo that. Oh, so that's just gonna straight attach. Oh. Are we like on a hill? Because it's got a weird... got a weird pathing thing happening here. Alright. So if we... I mean, we could do that. And then we could add another archway going that way. Just to give people another option. Alright, so this thing. Sorry, lamp, you're blocking part of my screen. You have to slide over. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I think it's actually the X key that I was referring to before. Okay, so here's the question. Do we want it to be touching the outside path? Because here it's on the inside path. You see in her indecisiveness. This is why it takes 5 hours to build one fucking building. Like, people like walking through archways. It might be a little more inviting. Maybe having it out there. Okay. Duplication time. Okay. These tools are gonna become our best friends. I'm trying to line up on the bush and ignore the arbor as much as I can. So this side actually looks a little low. Okay, you're kind of going way far out there. Okay, let's try that. And we'll kind of spew there. We need to turn you a little bit. So not a whole lot, but a little. So what do we want to do here? Because we're gonna have this spot here. I guess we'll just have to use a blank corner piece. So let's pause that. All right. Okay, so I did surface move you, so you might not exactly be at the correct height. What time are they supposed to be here?
About 3.
That might be them. I can't tell if that's... Okay. Don't forget to take the card. The card? And a flashlight? There's masks in here. Okay. Sorry, we have another plumber here giving us another estimate. Okay. So we're gonna have to try to get this guy slipped in here as best as we can. Because this is a bit of an awkward path shape to be doing hedging with. But I guess it's better to have like an awkward organic thing than, say, an awkward I want to say man-made structure, but like an awkwardly placed brick wall or something. So I guess that kind of makes sense, sort of, because I feel like you can kind of fudge hedging a little bit and it'll still look okay. To an extent. Oh, no, cancel. I didn't think we'd be able to recover that, so we want the green one at the moment. Alright, let's see, we might have to adjust the other guys just a smidge. That's really janky. Super janky. Alright, can we maybe do that a little bit? Zuzu, you're so nosy. How close to the ground is the other hedges? This guy's like all sorts of... Oh, okay, I see what happened. It's because it went off the corner. Wasn't entirely certain how high off the ground that corner piece was. Okay, I think, was this supposed to be a little above? Maybe. Okay, so it's a little janky, but I think it's alright. It's not terribly so, at least not from that side. And this side, alright, that's passable. Alright, maybe we can put a lamppost in there. Like right in here. Okay, so we're gonna duplicate that and we're gonna bring this down through. So if you hear voices coming through the background, I do apologize. We do have someone here giving us an estimate. We weren't entirely certain what time they were going to arrive. Because while they did give us a window, you know how things go with time arrival estimate windows. not always the most accurate, because, you know, they had to drive here, so fair enough, fair enough. And one can never really fully predict traffic. You alright?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find where my wallet went.
When did you have it?
There it is.
Okay.
Right there.
Is it in the wallet?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Sorry, they don't do free estimates around here. Like, everybody charges for an estimate. It's crazy. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. These guys did say free estimate, but we have to pay a travel fee for them to come out and give the estimate, because apparently, even though we're in the area they service, we're not their local area, if that makes sense. Kind of. So, fortunately, we have a little bit of a service fee to deal, or a travel fee to deal with. And we can't even really afford this estimate, but they have a financing option that might be our only hope of getting this dealt with. Alright, I'm okay if it's not right up on the edge. That should be alright. Alright, so now let's zoom you over to here, and we'll work off of this guy. Work on getting you kinda sorta in place. Because it's probably just gonna be easier to do it this way. Alright, you might need a slight turn there, just a touch. So we don't want to be too far off of the edge here. Alright. Like, we don't want to be too far off of meeting up with the other one. Although we've been doing pretty good with that today. Not like the greatest at it, but that should hit each other pretty good there. We'll just have to do a slight minor adjustment. Actually, that doesn't look half bad. Alright. Okay, so we've got that section. So I feel like we need something here. So let's see what we have in our topiary options. Excuse me. The bird? I mean, we have a log. We could Well, no, they're kind of long. So that probably won't work for that. Have a hedgehog. Oh, we did have the... I keep forgetting that there's the bendy pieces, but since we had to do adjusting, that might not have necessarily worked. That was an awfully fast estimate for fucking $75. Like, we could go the topiary tree here. No, I didn't want to favorite that. Or we could go, like, that. I mean, that's kind of classic. Or we could just... Yeah, that guy's kind of big. We could maybe do something like that, or we could put a tree in. What do we have for? We don't have classic trees. We can look for temperate trees. We might have to take that off to just look at treeage. Because although this is like a manicured garden, so. Although I feel like having the bunny there might be a little much. Give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back.
Let me find out.
Well, that was a waste of $75.
Yes, it was, but we tried.
Alright. Part of me wonders if they did it because we were so far away and that factored into how much it was.
I have no idea.
Alright, that's still a little... I mean, it's a round thing. It's kind of... silly. Alright, am I actually still... Yeah, we're still in there. Okay. That's not bad. Okay. So, let's keep going on our pavilion here. Oh. Okay, well, I want to be a little bit closer to the curb at least. I mean, to be fair, even though that estimate was more than the first estimate, it was within the approximate cost that I was seeing online.
Yeah, I mean, it's not completely unreasonable.
Yeah, it's not total bullshit, but I do wonder if the other guys were cutting us a slight break. Okay, so let's get you slipped into here. We're gonna have to adjust your angle a bit. That looks about good there. Alright. So now we have to make a decision on how far over we want that to come. I mean, we could in theory just take it up to the edge there. That is a possibility. In fact, yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll put Alright, let's get this guy popped into place. Like, we could go right up to it. That looks a bit higher, but I think the ground might just be a little bit different over here. Alright. Go ahead and zoom this over to here. Now you guys know why it takes me so long to get out a Flamingo Falls video. Oh my god, the thing I'm working on in there right now, I was like, oh, let's do a desert animal building. Regrets have been made, but hopefully it will look okay when we're done. That's a little off, but not terribly so. Alright, let me slide you this way. Alright, I think we might put a slight twist on you. That's probably too much. So this section's a little bit straighter. Oh, nope. Cancel that. Nope. Let me undo that. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry again. Okay. Sorry about that. We're still trying to get our problems dealt with over here. And everything is fighting us tooth and nail to get them resolved. Alright. Let's grab this guy. And we will plop you down here. Alright, this feels slightly... Sorry, this... Yeah, okay, that's probably pretty good. Alright, question is, are we at the right height? That one looks a little taller. No, maybe that was the right height. Good enough. Alright. So we've got that put in. An hour later, and we're working on hitches. Of course we are. We have to frame out the area. Alright. Okay, so we have to work on the back section, but we need to put in some buildings, I think. So, we have the restaurant here. We're advertising pizza and ice cream. So they sell a little bit more upscale, I think. So we have concessions. So, what was the rule about ATMs? Was that supposed to be with all concession stands?
I think the ATM is pretty much any place that sells stuff we can put an ATM in.
Okay, I couldn't remember what rule we had designated. Okay, so Cosmic Cow counter. Gulpy energy counter. A Gulpy slush counter. A Pip Shot smoothies counter. Oh yes, let's have smoothies in the garden. Smoothies and coffee. Oh. Ooh. You know, we could. How do these work? Like, do you... Like, it says it's a shell. Like, how does that... European food truck shop shell. So does that... Alright, I'm just gonna sit this over here for a second, because I don't know anything about this, right? So... Let me look this up real quick. So... Planet Zoo food truck shell. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna mute one more time real quick. I do apologize. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just trying to look up how... Food truck shop for counters. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we could probably do something with that. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Can we? Okay, so I think you take, like, a counter and you can, like, slip it in somehow. Like that. Okay. So, let's take a look here. I mean, we have a lake entrance, so maybe that would seem kind of weird. That might not completely work. Maybe if we're doing an inner city zoo, but that's pretty neat. Okay. We could still use the counters, though, and, put in, like, tented pavilions and stuff. Since it's a lake area. So that's an option. Alright, food stalls. Bernie's Bakes counter. Okay, so that's the cupcakes.
Okay, I do apologize. You are going to have to mute again.
Okay, give me one more minute, guys. I'm sorry.
I have no idea how long.
Alright, guys. So, I just want to see what this sells again. Alright, so... Okay, so this has pizza, burgers, fries, ice cream, cake. Okay. So I'm just trying to get our thoughts together here for how we're going to do our buildings. So we could do... Well, you know, I don't know if we can do the tents because... The tents would be, not in the words are escaping me in the classic build set, so. Alright, I'm surprised. Oh, that really wouldn't be classic either, because we're... Okay, well, we'll have to just do empty shells then. We could probably do brick. We're gonna need a bathroom. So let's grab that shell. So I'm thinking maybe like that. Excuse me. My throat's been itchy the past couple of days. Alright, so we have a bathroom in. Let's see. We're not doing zoo entrance. We're not doing merchandise. Information kind of goes under merchandise because you can buy like adoption kits and stuff. So food stalls. Let's see, we could probably put... Alright, so we don't want burgers. There's cake inside, there's hamburgers inside, there's ice cream inside. It didn't say anything about hot dogs. So we can probably do hot dog squad, Mexcellente. Probably hot dog squad and Mexcellente. So, let's do... Let's exit that. So we're gonna have to put 2 here, side by side. If that will even work, it might not. Let me do it this way. I actually need to see back of our building, so if our hedge comes back this way. Well, that is all sorts of janky, so I wanna maybe go about there. Say about there. Okay, now I just have to see if that's at the right angle. Okay. So that's, what is that? That was hot dog squad. Okay. So now, okay, I just want to make sure I did actually unmute. So now we need, We need a drink to go with hot dog squad, so we've got juice, soda, slush, energy, coffee, water, smoothies, or milkshakes. I think we're gonna go soda with the hot dog squad. But I think we'll go water with Mixolente. Just a little bit more. Of an angle there. Just trying to see if we can sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about. It doesn't quite look like it's on the same. I mean, I guess it doesn't really need to be. But I want to get the other two in over here somewhere, so. That kind of works. Okay. So don't worry, we'll finish our hedgerow in just a minute. I just need to get these guys in place here. Now that I'm looking at this, it does seem a little tight, but we can make it work, I think. So bathroom, hot dog squad, soda, and then I guess over here we'll do let's see, pip shot water. So I have to exit the build group there. We'll get this kind of slid into place. Might be a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, that needs to come. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that's probably about right there. Okay, and then let's get our Mixolente. Sorry for the flicker there for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly. Are they still working across the street?
I have no idea.
That was a very odd noise. Alright, so we got water. Why does that look like it's floating? Okay, it's not, it's just shadow. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. We still need to find a spot for our ATM. So I'm not sure where do we want to put the ATM. I mean, I kind of feel like we could probably stick it over here. Bit of an empty section here. Okay, so this kind of has to sit on pathway. Alright, I'm gonna make that a grid piece just to get this in here a little bit easier. No, so yeah, can't really do more than 2 in there. Okay. And we will. Okay, it's just same prices. Okay. Speaking of, let me go back and make sure, because if husband gets, I mean, we're in sandbox, so it's not like money really matters right now, but and that is free. Okay, so there's that. Now let's come back and finish our hedging. I'm sorry it takes me so long to build anything. Husband bangs out a restaurant in like 2 hours. And it takes me an hour and a half to put in fucking hedges. I know it must be infuriating. But I'm a little bit more fussy. With my build. Sorry if you can hear like some kind of weird ass like mechanical noise. They seem to be repairing the gutters on the church across the street from us. That got damaged in the snow slash ice storm that we had a little while ago. A week ago, 2 weeks ago. Something like that. Cancel that. Nope, 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 nope. We want that. Okay. Is my flashlight still on? Yes. I wasn't 100% sure. Okay. So that's not quite center. But it's probably good enough. Alright. Okay. Now, question is, I think this guy might be too big. Can we get him in here? He's probably gonna block a good portion of the husband's sign here. Okay. Figure out your approximate center. So we can add to each other's builds, but we can't take away from each other's builds. Well, it's kind of still visible. Sort of. Oh, goodness. Alright. Okay, so let's grab our hedge here. I guess it's a rivet gun that's making that noise. I suppose. I don't really know any construction terminology, but it kind of reminds me of when they're doing pit stops in NASCAR and little air guns getting off all the lug nuts off tires. Shadow back here, so it's a little bit harder to see, especially when we're in the bush or the topiary tree. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of some janky ass magic with our hedgerow here. A little bit. Just to kind of get this at the right angles it needs to be. You know what? We can leave that be right there. So we can like do doors on the sides and do like a little pathway if we have to. If we go that far. Sorry, I had to change how I was sitting because that was getting to be really uncomfortable. The new chair helped a little bit. I can sit now, but it still gets a bit painful at times. The other one, I could not sit in any longer. It was pretty bad. Alright. So, question is now, do we want to periodically have, like these guys back in here, like on either side of the buildings? We'll see. That might be a design. Oh wow, this is gonna be really hard to say. A design decision. That was actually kind of painful to say. As we get there. Alright, so we're gonna have to start rotating this a little bit. Okay. So, because everything's a fucking mess and falling apart. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I almost lost my level 58 Bloodthirsty last night. Through no fault of my own. I was, working on getting her leveled, minding my own damn business. And all of a sudden, the house was plunged into darkness. Rather suddenly. And we all kinda, like Russell and I were like, uh-oh. Not gonna lie, my first thought was, oh Jesus Christ, what the fuck went wrong in this house now? However, it came back like within a minute, maybe, and we were like, oh, okay, we're back. And you know, everything was cool, and then within 15 seconds everything plunged back into darkness. And we heard some rather strange noises that time, and we were like, oh dear. And we really thought it was us, until I managed to fumble in the dark to try to find my flashlight. And looked outside and saw it was the entire street. And then we realized it's not the entire street, it's a good portion of the town. So we're like, what the fuck just happened? So we made sure that the parents had flashlights and everything. You alright?
As good as it could be. Alright.
Do I need to stop?
No, it's not gonna be any better.
Alright. And then we were like, let's go for a walk and see how far this goes. So we grabbed my flashlight of doom and tried to get down the street a little bit. We got maybe down half a block and saw all kinds of flashing lights and stuff, and we're like, oh, that's not good. And we saw smoke, but we also saw a truck moving funny, so we didn't know if there had been an accident and they like a pole had gotten hit or something. We weren't sure because we didn't hear any noise. Then again, the house was shut up, and I was listening to something, husband was listening to something. The only time I heard a noise was like the second time, and it sounded like a weird mechanical buzz or something. And I was standing out on the porch while my mom was smoking, and somebody was walking down the street talking to someone else they were with, and I kind of shined my flashlight in their direction because I wasn't sure if they had a dog that they were bitching at or something, because it was a little weird. And then they yelled, oh hey, there's a wire down, and I'm like, oh okay, well yeah, that'll do it. But we didn't know why the wire came down. So we were kind of just sitting in the dark because we only have the one cell phone. Well, Russell has primary use of the one smartphone that we have. I don't really need one because we're usually together, so it's an unnecessary bill. So he really doesn't have any social logged in on that. So we weren't really sure what the fuck was going on. And, it was out for about an hour and a half-ish. Not quite 2 hours. Just as I had found something to try to do after I made sure we had some extra batteries for the sort of camp floodlight that we had, to make sure I felt okay using it. Like within 10 minutes of me starting that, the power came back up, and I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So then I got back on Facebook and was looking at a couple of the pages that were made for the town from various town folks, and they were like, oh yeah, a power pole just fucking came down all on its own out of nowhere. It just fell. And people were like, somebody hit it. They're like, no, it just fell. And we're like, that's bizarre. I almost wonder if there were termites in it or something, because it was a wooden pole. Now we did have pretty high wind Tuesday into Wednesday and through most of Wednesday, and we had some thunderstorms Thursday morning. But it really wasn't all that windy when the pole fell. And apparently when the pole fell, the transformer was sparking, and when it hit the ground, it caught fire, which was the smoke that we had been seeing. And it was apparently on fire in someone's front yard. It fell right in their front yard. If those people were home, if that house was actually occupied, which I'm not sure if it is or not. It's hard to tell when we walk by there. I'm not sure if they're using it for a business or if they're actually living there. But they had to be scared shitless, because that had to be super fucking loud. And as we approached the 5-minute mark, I was pretty certain that monk was going to be dead by the time I got logged back in. So I was like, right, well, if she's dead, I'm not re-rolling her. I've already told myself that is the rule. If we lose anybody at this point, they are dead to us. So, and that will just be one class that's not gonna happen. Because there are other projects I would like to move on to working on and spending more of my time investing in them. Because Bloodthirsty is a huge time sink. However, when I finally managed to get back in, she was sitting where I had been mid-combat, just chilling. Or she was standing there, and I was like, hello? And I checked to make sure that she hadn't had any deaths registered in her stats screen, and she didn't. So I was like, okay. Sure. I was pretty certain that you were not going to be with us when I got back in here, but alright. That was a bit of a surprise. So, I didn't realize that they had been down there still dicking around, where the incident happened. It was on our street. It was just like a block down or so. I didn't realize they were still down there until around midnight. I was like, oh, maybe I should not be doing this anymore today, because I didn't know how much longer they were going to be dicking around there, because apparently people were saying that our power company was estimating it back on at 1 a.m. and it came back well before then. I think that might have just been oh, we don't know when crews are going to show up, so we'll tell you this time. So you'll leave us the fuck alone. At least for a while. Kind of deal. It was back on pretty good, and she was alive, so that kind of greatly surprised me. I mean, she was fighting a moth, but those moths hit kind of hard, and I think I was only about halfway through combat, so I don't know if somebody else ended up killing it, because there was a couple of leather farmers around, or if I killed it. I don't know. The whole thing was just rather strange. I'm like sitting here thinking, wow, this is taking me so much longer than Russell's build did, but Russell did a building. And I'm doing an area because I have to do like picnic tables and shit. So I feel like I'm kind of fucking up the hedge height here a bit. Sorry, my hand's a little fussy today. Actually, where's my... I can feel how swollen my hand is right now, so... Let me get this thing on. I'm probably gonna have to sleep in the hard splints tonight. Sorry, there's all kinds of fuzz all over it from the cat trying to get into the bucket where this one was kind of hanging out. Okay. And I'm also kind of dicking around a little bit, getting these shrubs in. Not dicking around too much, but we're a little bit. Oh, we're, I know. Okay, we might have to. Okay. Couldn't tell how off we were from back there, so let's start attaching from back here. Oh, we're in the tree. Put the blue arrow here. It might not be too bad. Alright. Okay, so we are a little off, but I think it'll be okay. We just need to kind of adjust our hedge here. There we go. That's not so bad. All right. So we probably should have had a corner piece back there, but it was rounded, so I was like, meh. I don't know if we really need it. Okay, so we have our little pavilion sort of fenced in here. All right. So let's see. Next question is, should we have some pathing around in here? And I kind of feel like we probably should. So let's see if we can... Alright, so we had it right on the edge here. Out in there. Maybe? Kinda, sorta. Alright. So, for tables, they have to be touching, they have to be on path. That's the way it goes. So, I feel like with this being a garden area, maybe we go with tree bark. And let's see here, maybe there. All right. And maybe there. It's not that. Look here, path. Maybe there. And all right, so let's see if we can kind of get that put in there. And it's kind of not the angle I wanted, so let's get that one off of there. Let's see if we can kind of try here, and let's see, is it Z? Alright, that's not too terrible. Let's see, can we... Alright, let's undo that. I'm trying to figure out a way to get these tables in here. Oh, wait, maybe... Okay, hang on. Let's... Alright. Let me undo that. And let's do this a different way, so... What's up?
Oh, nothing. Those plates are microwavable.
What plates?
The coated ones?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want her running them in there like 6 minutes for bacon.
It's straight microwavable. It has like no codifiers to it, so.
Okay. Alright. So there's... that, and then say over here. Say like there. Alright. Now. Okay. We're gonna come back into path again. Alright, let's take off the grid. Okay, that's not gonna do... No, don't do that. It's not what I wanted. Alright. Oh, okay. That's just gonna be Jinkyville. Okay. Alright, let me... Facilities. I don't know if there's any... Really, that's considered... Oh, because it has the word classic on it. Let's see here. That's New World. I mean... We could go with this. It would fit the whole garden area. Alright. Okay. So you have to be... Really? What is your deal? Okay, so can we not do what I wanted to do with this? Apparently not. Because you have to be, like, on a path, so... Apparently you can't do... Not gonna lie, this is why I prefer building on a grid. Okay. Let's take that out. Alright. I don't think we have a grid that we can select here. Oh, wait. Obstructed. Okay, so yeah, no, we can't do that. Alright, well, logically... I feel like you would have at least the main path connected to those two, right? Here's the question. If we go like 4. Oh. Hold on. That kind of works. Okay. Take that back down to 1. we do? Put that on 4. And that was... No. Oh. Don't want you to attach to each other. Now the question is... I don't want that. Alright, so let's... If we shorten that, if we lengthen it. Let's undo that. Okay, that kind of works. I know this looks kind of convoluted, but bear with me. What if we reduce that? No, because I don't want that. Necessarily doing that. Alright, What are you doing? Being weird. Okay. Are we stuck? We seem to be stuck for some reason. Let's close path. And we'll open it. Alright. Not what necessarily I'm looking for. I mean, we could do the whole thing in the tree bark, but these two align. Alright, what if we just like all the way back to 1. Because that's kind of... I mean, we could just make that like a larger... garden area, I suppose. I don't want that to do that. I want... Really? Alright. The path is so fussy. In certain areas. Ah! Okay. We'll go with that. I know it looks kind of fucked up, but it gets to a point where if it kind of works, it's like, fine, I'll take it. Alright. One. Why is this? I want you to go there. Why are you being dumb? Is the path really that uneven? It's like, I'll sit on the side of it. No, you won't sit on the side of it. I really can't. You were there. Come on. Come on. My hand is so unsteady. There we go. It's a little close in there. Come on, you're not even gonna try. Come on. That's like a round object, so... Really? Like, here it kind of wants to sit, but at the same time... It's like, you can't sit that far into that spot. I have plans for that spot. Like, you can't be sitting in the flower beds, people. It flickered briefly. Can I find the spot again? Oh. like we ought to be able... I had you briefly. This just seems so close to each other. I wonder if... the picnic tables would work any better. I mean, they might. And I guess it still kind of goes with the black trim on it. And that kinda... kinda works. It's gonna bug me because I know it's not. You hear that beeping too, right?
Yeah, that's them backing their truck.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm not having an issue. Because if I'm hallucinating beeping happening, we're gonna have all kinds of problems there. Okay, it must have been just something weird with the collision on the round, those round tables, because these are fitting in a lot better. Okay. Well, see, those ones look a little bit better than over here, so let's tweak these a little. You can't X move these, you kind of have to play with holding the Z key and kind of have to pick them up every time you want to fuss with them. Now I have no idea how the guests are going to interact with these. I guess it almost doesn't really matter that much. Excuse me. Because, it is sandbox, so... Alright, so you are interacting a little fussy with the path. Okay. So we've got those in. Now, the pointy umbrella or the domed umbrella? Okay, so classic garden. What color umbrellas should we have? I don't know. I mean, we could go with flamingo pink. Now these ones you can X move to slide into your tables. These ones don't necessarily snap to the table. You know what I would like to see them put in? And I know this is gonna sound silly, but I would love to see some closed umbrellas. So that you can put a closed one down and be like, oh yeah, that table has the option, but it's just closed at the moment, you know? I know that seems silly, but I would like to see that. Alright, so we're not going to give every table one, because maybe some people want to sit in the sun. Alright, so we've got 3 umbrella options over there. So at least this way, if somebody wants to sit out, they can get out of the direct sunlight or the rain. Although I don't know who would be outside eating in the rain. Apparently they do it in Parkitect all the time. They probably do it here too. I just didn't notice. Because I usually have the doodads on my tables. That one's not quite center, but that's okay. Alright, so what do we have here? Alright, so maybe we'll do one more umbrella option. Over here. Okay. That's probably a good amount of umbrellas. Alright, now. That was a good stretch. Okay. So I suppose we're gonna have to actually start putting facades on this shit before we get to the gardening section, so I've been delaying long enough, I suppose. Okay. Let's get into our walls. Alright. So we have limestone. We have the like the greenhouse glass. And we have the brick. Now, the brick might not be so bad. This is painted brick. Seems a little plain. Limestone. Very white. So what do we have for arches here? We have this one. And we have this one. I am personally kind of partial to the brick with the rounded arch, but this might fit the building a little bit better. Perhaps. All right, let me. Okay. I'm just trying to get an idea of how that was gonna look there. Alright, let's look at our walls. I think we definitely want to go well, I mean, that's interesting. We like could, although roofing that might be a bit of a cluster noodle. Oh, but taking it this way might be a bit of a problem. So we could do that. And no, not that. I think if we, yeah, we're gonna go through the hedge there, so not that. I mean, no. So if we, I mean, that would be kind of similar to something that we did in Mozuzamo. Alright, let's You know what? We don't really have that much room on this side. Maybe do a little something like that. Hold on, let's undo that. Let's grab this guy here. And we'll do that. And that. Alright, let me look at that. And let's see, what do we have for pitched? Now, he went with tile, which apparently wasn't technically part of the classic roof. I mean, that kind of works with itself there a little bit. It's either that or we kind of go with the slate. But, I don't know, the copper and the brick kind of work pretty well together. Could have domed it, but... trying to figure out if I really want to... Do I want to go the higher angle? I think we'll go with that one. And roof trim. I know that's a 1 meter roof that we put on there, but the 2 meter trim, I think, matches up there a little bit better, honestly. Alright, what do we have? I mean, that's kind of ridiculously big. Tower pieces. Oh, we could put in a clock tower. A classic roof of it. I mean, we probably should have one of these on here. It would definitely fit. For having one. Alright, so I'm just gonna sink that in just a little bit. That's probably good. Alright, now. Oh, okay, that sits like on the very edge there. Oh, that's like hanging off the edge. Oh. Alright, let's see here. What do we have for props? We got, okay, I was gonna say we got nothing. Let's see here. Snap rotation. Bear with me here just for a second. I just want to see something. If this would even remotely look right. So we would have to probably bring it down to about there. Can we change the color on this? So we can go to black. And oh, we have to. Okay. Or, I mean, white might look better. I'd kind of almost like, is this our, no, that's not really our roof green. We don't really have an eyedropper to grab it. So it kind of feels like that, but a little bit. Oh, that's pretty close. No, not that. That right there is pretty close. All right. Yes. Okay. Attach that. See about doing that to this side. Make sure we're all tucked in there. Okay, and move this guy up. And we'll sink them into place. They're just a little bit off. So let's see here. Oh, that guy's like way off. Alright. Oh, why is that so... Are we on an angle? Not that bad of one. I wish we could cover that up just a little bit better. It like wants to line up with one side and not the other. Oh, and now you're poking through. you're poking through. You're just being a pokey puppy, aren't you? Really, no matter what we do here, do we need to adjust your rotation? No, you just want to be hanging out. Letting it all hang out. Alright. We don't have a smaller option there. Oh, shit. Ah! Okay, well. What if we grab that there? What if we flip you upside down? Since you are being such a fussy face. Ooh. Except you're crooked. I'm trying to make this work. That was the wrong axis that I just grabbed. So what if we do a little something like that? And we drop that onto there. Husband, I might need 2 weeks on my build. Is that a problem? Okay. So let's see about getting, how far down was that? Okay, so the leaves, the little leaf thingy was touching. Okay. And that stubborn little spot, it just doesn't want to behave. Maybe we can stick like a vent decal over it or something. Alright. So we have some options here. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Where? Oh, there it is. Can we? Oh, you know what we could do? That would work. works very well. Okay. So that fixes that issue. Alright. Let's come back into walls and... Okay. So... let's see. What do we have for classic columns? We have this. Which, I mean, you know, it kind of goes. It's not terrible. We have the limestone. Which, you know, again, not terrible. We do have the brick columns. Oh, that's a big guy. Well, that's kind of cute with it on the diagonal. But people are probably going to walk right into it. That's a really thick column, though. I kind of wish we had a rounded brick one. I mean, we could go like that. I wonder. You're painted. Oh, that's pretty. Alright. And it kind of matches. Kind of. I just kind of want to make sure that that gap is covered there. Make sure that we're actually touching where we need to be. We're not poking out anywhere. Alright, cool. Alright, let's try to get this guy shoved in to the same spot. Alright, so that's good there. Alright, and then this one. Let's see about... It has to be in just a little bit, but not necessarily too far. Okay. I think we can work with that. Right, now our bathroom itself. Aha. Okay, so our wall color. What is this? The tiles. And then the floor, we'll go black on the floor. Okay. So, now. Let's see here. We need a restroom sign. here's the thing. Do we kind of do a little something like that and write open on it? We could. I mean, they're gonna walk right through it though. Can we change your color? Let's do that. Oh, that's tiny. That is super tiny. Sometimes you never know how big the text is gonna be. I'm just trying to make it bigger. I wish we could change the size font. That looks so strange with all the spaces. I'm not a huge fan of ranchers, but I mean, or we could just not do the sign. The sign's kind of being awkward. Okay. Or at least the floor sign. We can still do a wall sign here. Okay, so we have to take the filter off for that. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's go with that. And then let's come back into our fountains. Excuse me. That is fucking huge. Alright. Here's the... What the heck? I want you to go flat on the thingy. The angle snap? No. You're just being silly at this point. I mean, that is kind of big. And that's kind of small. There's like no in between. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Let's see, what do we have for pedestals? That's a huge pedestal. Very big. if I want to go with that. Alright. We need... some windows. Or I would like there to be windows. Let's put it that way. We could go with that. That's kind of small. That one's got the little brick thingy over the top. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. That dresses it up a little bit. Or we can go without it. But this is kind of a fancier garden, so maybe we go 1. Two. 3. I get a 4th one squeezed in there? I'm gonna say no, but let's center these guys a little bit. And that might help. We are touching, so that's good at least. Don't have to worry about floating off of the edge of the building. Yeah, alright, we'll go with a little bit of spaces in between. That's fine. Okay, now. Sorry for a second there. My walls looked like they weren't the color I had set them to be. Okay. Gardening. We have the little tiny guys. Or we can go one long guy to encompass the whole thing. Am I even touching the walls? We are. Okay. A little... I feel like we're crooked, but... it's probably... just me being weird about it. Okay, now before we do that... Yes, okay. Wonderful. Okay. Let's see what we have for plants. We have, that's more of like a flower bed on the ground though. Alright, we're gonna take that off of there. Just to get to the stuff that we need. Alright, you know, I don't know if we really need the mulch in there. We need something to put in here though, so. I was kind of thinking like something bushy. I swear, come on. I mean, it's not really bushy, but can we change the color on you? No. That just doesn't really go. You're a little bit bushy, but are you too bushy, I wonder? Because you're kind of big for the space.
Hello?
Let me see if we can get you set up in there. I mean, the flowers kind of disappear with the white trim on the windows. So, let's see. What about the azaleas? The azaleas don't look half bad. Let's see. What flower did the fountain out here use? Was that the fairy flower? Because that kind of looks like what it is. Yes. It's a little short for in there though. The goldenrod is way too big for over here. I mean, those aren't bad. We could stick those in there. Gives a little pop of color to the building. Alright, up top. Kind of want something that... Oh, I think it's under trees, actually. I mean, we could add... some wisteria to the top. Is that, like, too much, though? I mean, it is a garden. And we do want color. That's huge. Oh, that's ground cover. Okay. I don't want any dead trees, because this is supposed to look pretty manicured. Alright, so if we sink that into the ground there. Alright, and then if we carry this over, alright. So we'll probably have to kind of do something around the whole, at least part of it. And say we drop you into here. Oh, you are huge, aren't you? Everything is so big. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, you know what we could do? Right in here. Let's go back to construction real quick. And we could put like a little giraffe guy. Alright, that's not bad. Okay. I feel bad that this is all we've gotten done, but We have been working on a large space. And we're probably going to need another week to complete it all. Okay, so I'm thinking do we want to kinda... No, that seems a little much. I mean, I guess if we were gonna do that, it should be on like the outer trackway in. Maybe. I mean, that's... Nah, you know what? It's a little big for this. So, instead... what if we grab our hedge and we sink it pretty far down here. Like, it doesn't have to be real far down, but, you know, just far enough. Actually, let's get this one. Put in first. I want the blue arrow, please. I don't know, it just kind of gives it more of that capped off, manicured feel. For me, at least. Now, this is gonna be... That other one's a little bit... The other one's a little bit wide. So I'm not sure that's necessarily going to work in this space. Alright. Let's see about getting this guy a little bit more evened out if we can. Okay. Might have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust him just a little bit more. But that's what we have to do when we have a curved pathway. And that's what we have to do. Okay, not looking too shabby for our garden builds. Sorry that I'm gonna end up having to be building the next session as well, since we are not done our area yet. But that path took a long time to fuss, and I was still kind of getting my ideas straight in my head. So let's see about turning you. Alright, that needs to get a little bit more of a swivel action happening. I feel like you're angling out just a touch. Though maybe it was okay. And we'll just get this last guy kind of tucked into there. Alright. That doesn't look too bad. It's definitely a start. So I have to finish lining the rest of the area. Well, this side needs to get lined. I'm actually wondering if we could get a picnic table in there. We might be able to, actually. At the risk of... Oh, okay, so that's... probably gonna be I mean, we could do that. I mean, that's a long ways for people to walk over here to eat, but it is also a bit for show. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll just leave that section for garden area. So that way we still have some greenness to our pavilion. Alright, so I'm gonna pause here and we'll pick up with my build wrapping up next week. So we won't be spinning the husband's wheel of doom today, because I could be here like another 4 hours before I finish. So and we have some things that we need to deal with. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. Sorry about having to mute so often, but we had to do some things that we didn't need you all to hear. But yeah, it's coming along. It's definitely looking pretty good. It kind of goes with the husband's build, kind of. It's definitely a different pathway color entirely, so we'll see how he feels about that, but I felt like the stone worked better in the garden, and it picks up the white on the trim of his building as well. So, like, yeah, that might work. We might do another fountain here, or a smaller one, something. We'll think about it. So don't forget to follow in all of the places down below. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's the YouTube page, where sometimes I post stuff that doesn't make it for the live stream, like Flamingo Falls and all that. And yeah, so let's see, who do we want to go and visit today? Zortz is streaming, so I guess we'll go and visit him. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me and the craziness of this afternoon. I do appreciate it. Don't forget there's a WoW Challenges podcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then we are doing art on Sunday. We'll be picking back up with our Bob Ross Felt Along. So I hope you guys have a great one, and I will see you on Sunday.